For the past 8 years, Barack Hussein Obama wiped his backside with our Constitution while emboldening our enemies and alienating our allies. With the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Obama made it no secret he was on the side of the Palestinian terrorists, where he gave sovereignty of Israel's holiest sites to these terrorists, while concurrently putting Iran on a path to nuclear arms so they could bomb Israel into oblivion. Just 24 hours after President Trump announced he'd be moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, now our military is on high alert after the sickening plot that Obama's Muslims have vowed to carry out. Liberals are already collectively losing their minds over President Trump choosing to side with Israel, as they're always vocal supporters of Muslim terrorists whenever they're given the decision to choose sides. The Muslim world is equally enraged over our president's decision to stand with the country of Israel, and now their nasty threats have spawned an immediate response from the United States military, where Trump has deployed additional troops to the area in preparation of the day of rage that these Muslim terrorists have planned as a violent response to the new embassy. InfoWars reported. 3 days of rage are expected to take place across the region in response to the plan, prompting the U.S. Central Command to brush up on contingency plans and beef up security at American embassies across the Middle East. Trump's decision is almost certain to provoke protests and potentially violent skirmishes at and near American government and facilities U.S. nationals own and operate in Israel and the occupied territories, the Middle East as a whole, and beyond, reports The Drive. The reported U.S. military moves make it clear that they are well aware of this fact. Islamist Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan warned Trump that recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel was a red line for Muslims, while Saudi King Salman bin Abdulaziz said the plan would constitute a flagrant provocation of Muslims. Newsweek reported the move could inflame the Muslim world. There are also reports that ISIS could be preparing retaliatory attacks. As part of its planned backlash, Hamas has urged the youth and the Palestinian resistance in the West Bank to respond with all means available to the U.S. decision that harms our Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a red line and the resistance will not allow any desecration of it. President Trump isn't playing around and is sending in a badass unit of Marines who will be armed to the teeth and ready to take on any Muslim terrorist who tries to retaliate against America's decision to place the embassy in Jerusalem. InfoWars went on. Special Marine Corps fast units will be on hand to be deployed around the world to embassies and diplomatic posts. They will be armed with .50 caliber M2 machine guns or 40mm Mk19 automatic grenade launchers, as well as specialized riot control gear. If the reaction to the U.S. government's change in policy on Jerusalem proves to be too much for those teams to handle, the Marines also have dedicated crisis response elements for operations in Africa and the Middle East forward deployed in Rota, Spain and in Kuwait respectively, writes Joseph Trevithick. These special-purpose Marine Air-Ground Task Forces have MV-22B Osprey tiltrotors and KC-130 aerial tankers to help rush additional personnel across those regions in an emergency. This move by our new Commander-in-Chief is sending a clear message to the world that we stand with Israel, a gesture that's no doubt sending shockwaves through the Muslim community and infuriating our former terrorist-loving president. Obama tried desperately to destroy Israel while in office, where we all can remember the vile thing Obama did to Israel over Christmas last year, where he backed a Security Council resolution that turned over Israel's most historic and holy sites to Palestinian Hamas and Fatah terrorists. Obama was also behind the taxpayer-funded campaign to oust Netanyahu from office back in 2015, where the Washington Post exposed Obama's plot, going on to say that Obama had the worst relationship of any U.S. president with the elected prime minister of the Jewish state. This isn't the first time that President Trump has tried to make things right with Israel following 2 presidential terms of Barack Hussein Obama treating the country of Israel like absolute crap. As Israel's land continues to be up for dispute by a coalition of Muslim terrorists and nasty liberals around the world, President Trump finally put an end to the debate by the single action he took at the West Wall earlier this year, solidifying once and for all where America stands on this issue. Meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in a solemn act of solidarity, President Trump donned a yarmulke and prayed at the West Wall along with other Jewish leaders, in a historic move that has never been done by a sitting president in our country's history. The diplomatic nod not only bolstered Israel's claims to the holy site, but sent the silent message to Muslims around the world that this area belongs to the Jews, and to keep their grubby hands off of it. This is such a drastic change from what we got used to under Barack Hussein Obama, who did everything he could to stab Israel in the back during his tenure as president. Now America finally has a president who represents the values and sentiments that most Americans have towards Israel, who Christians revere as God's chosen people. You can be sure that liberal snowflakes everywhere are melting over President Trump sending our military to Israel to protect our most cherished ally.